Now, dear learners, welcome once again to this short video on the topic group discussion, the initiating phase. Now, as you know, in my previous video, we had discussed about the basics of a group discussion, what is a group discussion, how to conduct a group discussion, what are different do's and don'ts, right? What are the steps, what are the roles the members of the GD are supposed to play, which role is particularly focused by the recruiters and companies. So now in this short video, we'll go into different phases. To start with, we'll be only focusing on the initiation phase, that is the first phase. Now, as you all know, we can group this group discussion into three broad phases. First one is the initiation, introduction phase, that we are going to discuss today in this video. Next will be body of the group discussion. And the third one will be the concluding part, that is how to summarize. Okay. Now, so basically the content will be like this. How do we initiate? What phrases are supposed to be used? Okay, some examples we'll take. Then also we'll go into the more important part, that different techniques to initiate group discussions with suitable examples in each technique. Now let's go ahead. Now, you see, initiating a group discussion is considered as a high profit or alternatively a high loss strategy. Why it is so? Because when you initiate a group discussion, you not only grab the opportunity of the other speakers, but also you also grab the attention of the examiner, who will be focused on you. So how well you do, that will determine your success or failure. If you can make a favorable first impression with the contents, your communication style, it will help you to sail through the discussion very smoothly. But if you initiate the group discussion and stammer in between, quoting wrong facts and figures, the damage might be irreparable. So it is a double-edged sword initiating a GD. If you initiate a group discussion but don't speak much after that, then it will give an impression that you started the GD for the sake of starting, getting those initial kitty points in favor of you. So what is the lesson? While initiating, you initiate only if you have the depth of knowledge about the topic. Otherwise, better listen to first. Now, starting a group discussion, let us one or two examples. The topic is the impact of social media on society. This is a very hot topic, burning topic. So how do you start? Okay, but you must take the consent, right, of the partners that you are going to, the co-participants in the GD, right? So they might also be wanting to. So make sure that they want you to listen. So taking this particular topic, the impact of social media on society. So what should your sentence be? So you can say, friends, the topic of our discussion today is impact of social media on the society. It's a very time relevant, very pertinent, very interesting. Likewise, let us go ahead. Suppose let's take another example. Another topic: should online education replace traditional education post-pandemic? This is a very hot topic now. Everybody is discussing. Where will you ultimately land up? Right? So how do you start this? What will be your sentence like? Hello everyone. Our topic for today is whether online education should replace the traditional education altogether, right? Or we'll go in a hybrid mode. This is how you can start the discussion, right? Now, we can also use certain sentences this way. Let's begin our discussion on the topic, whatever the topic is. I suggest we each speak for 2 minutes each in the first round, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Then, if time permits, we can come down and have a second and third rounds also, leaving 2 minutes at the end for the summarization. Now, this is a part of the initiating person's job to do, and your sentence could be this way. Alternatively, you can say, dear all, let us begin the discussion without any further delay. As you know, we need to complete it in allotted 20 minutes. This could be another sentence. Then, shall we start with Mr. X or Mr. number 5? See, you are not to normally address by names. That's why I am mentioning Mr. X, Mr. Y, or chest numbers, as I said in the previous video. Normally, GD participants are given some time, either some letter or some numbers, numeric numbers. I'd like to introduce the topic if you all agree to. See, here you are taking the consent of others because you are initiating. Take everyone into confidence. Now, there are different techniques. Let's go into the techniques that are normally used to initiate the GD. Now, normally accepted are you use some quotations or you go for a definitions. Third alternative is you can put a question. There can be shock statements or shocking statements rather that will draw the attention of rest of the members. You can put down some or share some facts, figures and statistics which are very important. Or you can say a very short story. Mind you, it all depends on the subject title, right, and the time allotted. Or you can go for alternative, the last is general statement. Let us go into each of these, briefly. Now, when we are using a quotation, right, suppose the GD topic is, should the censor board be abolished? Free for all, anybody producing any, video can find place with the viewers. So you start with a quote like this. I said this is a quotation technique. Hidden apples are always sweet. Suppose alternatively, right, the sales and marketing, the GD topic is this way. Customer is the king. Then what you do? You can start quoting Walmart's founder, Sam Walton, who established his first Walmart store way back in the year 1962. What did he say? You can quote him. There is only one boss, the customer. He can fire everybody in the company from the chairman down to the floor level employee. Simply by how? Simply by spending the money somewhere else and not buying your product. So these are all quotations, famous quotations, right? You can use as a part of your, GD initiation process. Second one is, as I said, definition. You can define the, proposition itself. So let us take an example. Suppose the topic given to you is advertising is a diplomatic way of telling lies. How do you start? So you advertise, you define what advertisement is all about. You can say, see friends, advertisement is any form of any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion of ideas, of goods, services through mass media. It could be newspaper, it could be magazines, it could be TV, it could also be radio, right? So you have defined the topic, and it has set the ball rolling, and subsequently it may make the job easy for others to participate, and you can expand on these ideas. Third is provoking or thought provoking rather questions. You are putting a questions. You are not putting questions to the members. You are putting the questions and answering yourself, mind you. So it involves asking a question and answering it self. Now, let us take a topic like this. Should India go to war with Pakistan again and again? Now, what do you do? How do you start this? You can start by asking questions, thought-provoking questions. What are these? For instance, you can say, what does war bring to the people of a nation? We have had enough classes with our neighboring country since partition. The pertinent question is, what have we achieved? I would say the loss is more than the gain. If you are at all taking a stand this way, I'm just giving you example, mind you. You are free to take your own side, own perception, and then accordingly put down your thoughts. Then you can, share some shocking facts or statements. These statements should grab the immediate attention of the fellow participants. Suppose the group discussion topic is the impact of population on the Indian economy. How do you start? How do you initiate? My suggestion is, do it this way. The population clock in India ticks away relentlessly. The birth rate is still high, though it has come down. And more importantly, India's population is estimated to have reached around 150 crores. As per the UN world's most populous nation survey, and we have surpassed the leader, China. Right? So this is a shocking fact and statements, and it will draw the attention or grab the attention of everyone. Suppose the another alternative is starting or sharing the other facts, figures and statistics, as we have done in the previous case also, right? But then when you use the statistics, you have to be very particular that your statistics is accurate. Yes, approximation is allowed in macro level figures, but not in micro level figures, where you have to be correct and very exact. Take an example. You can say approximately 65% of India's population resides in rural area. This is an approximation. It's a macro data figure. But you cannot say that we have 30 states in India instead of the correct figure 28. So be very particular. If you are initiating a GD by quoting some facts, figures or a statistics, you can always quote also the source to make it more authentic. Then short story is another way. What do you do? Suppose the topic is attitude is everything. Now sometimes they ask you this type of topic also. You can start your story this way. Many of you might be knowing here, but I will state it again for you people someone. A child once asked the balloon vendor who was selling helium gas filled balloons whether a blue colored balloon will go as high as this to the sky as a green colored balloon. The child, obviously, with his knowledge, with his imagination, right, he has put a very interesting question. So the balloon vendor told the child, this is the story, mind you, it is not the color of the balloon but what is inside it that makes it go high. So your attitude determines your behavior and then your acceptance. So this way you can also, share a short story to drive in your point in the GD. Then there can be a general statement. General statements will put the group discussion in a right perspective. For instance, let's take an example. Should Mr. X be the Prime Minister of India? Then how do you start? You can start by saying, right, before jumping into the conclusion whether Mr. X should be the Prime Minister or Mr. Y should be Prime Minister, or whether yes, Mr. X should be, or no, Mr. X doesn't meet the, that should not be. Let us first find out what are the qualities of one need to be a good PM, Prime Minister, a leader. Then we can compare these qualities with those that Mr. X possesses. That will better answer our questions, propositions. So this way we can better reach to the conclusion, right, in a more objective and effective manner. That should be your way of initiating the process, right? So, dear students, these are some of the ways in which you can initiate a GD. As I said, there are 3 phases of a GD. So before I sign off today, let me inform you all that our next video will take up the next 2 phases of a GD, that is how to go about the body, which is the major segment of an interview. There you spend a lot of time. Okay? And then we'll go to the concluding part. How do you summarize a GD? This is very essential to summarize at the end. There may not be a conclusion, but then you have to put down every side, every thoughts in that in a very brief summarization. We'll discuss that in the next. So till then, thank you. See you again.